Shannon with Play with the World and the author of Find Your Happy. I'm here today in Honolulu, Waikiki. Right now I'm on the 14th floor of my awesome hotel, and out there is Diamond Head. It's so beautiful here. And so I wanted to really share today's message, which is something that is so important. And funny enough, I've been wanting to share this for quite a while, and I have just went through it myself, so I can preach and share to you that these tips really work. And today's message is all about forgiveness. Literally, how to forgive, and also why we need to forgive. Okay, we hear about forgiveness a lot, right? It kind of gets thrown around, and we all know we need to forgive. So really today's message, I'm going to take it a slightly different approach, because I think that a lot of what we hear just gets drilled into our head and it becomes white noise. So what I really want to start with is think about a situation in your life. Perhaps you are holding on to resentment. Maybe you're in a situation where you're feeling angry, or you're just kind of really over it, and that anger is kind of eating you up inside. And so as I take you through today's message, hold that situation and kind of dissect it with the tips I share. So the reality is forgiveness. A lot of people ask me, well, how do I forgive? And I think the real question is, it's not about how do I forgive, because we can't manufacture forgiveness. It's not something that just happens. It has to happen on its own time. And we have to respect the process, because there's always something we can learn in the experience of what it is we're trying to forgive. And so if you are struggling with forgiving, instead of asking, how can I forgive? And consider to ask yourself, when's the time right? When is the right time? And you'll know when the time is right. So forgiveness is a process. And a lot of people, I think, don't really look at it that way. And that's why we hold on to anger. And you know, there's so many ideas around why we have a hard time forgiving. You know, Buddha, his famous quote of holding on to anger is like holding on to a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else, but you're the one who gets burned. And so today, we really have to recognize that forgiveness has nothing to do with the other person that has hurt you whatsoever. It's actually about you. It's about you and really getting to the heart of why this situation happened. And so I'll just jump right in today. So the reality is, let's talk for a moment about what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not forgetting. A lot of times we think we need to forget about the situation, and by saying I forgive you, or really allowing ourselves to forgive someone, we just completely think that that means it's okay, and we forget about it. No, you can't forget about it. It's ingrained in our life now. Life experiences make us who we are. And so instead of looking at it as something you have to forget, realize that the experience is helping you be more of who you really want and what you want out of life. You can learn from the situation. We also think that maybe the forgiveness is not about, you know, maybe we don't forgive because we don't really think what they did was right. Maybe you're in a situation with a person and you don't want to forgive because that means that somewhere on your being you're thinking, oh, what they did is okay and I don't think it's okay. Absolutely not. Forgiveness has nothing to do with their behavior and saying that it's okay. Remember, forgiveness is about you releasing yourself from the anger, releasing yourself from the pressure of the situation. And so let's get right into the tips today. I'm going to share with you 3 tips, of course, on how you can really forgive. And the first one is to feel your feelings. Here's the thing, if someone does something that really stings you, or they react in a way that really hurts your feelings, or they treat you poorly, it's important to feel your feelings. A lot of times when we get on these self-development paths or these spiritual kind of awakenings, we hear, you know, forgive and practice kindness. Yeah, that's all well and good, but if you're not feeling your feelings and you're not allowing yourself to get angry, and you're not allowing yourself to really get to the heart of what it is that frustrates you, you won't heal the situation, and it makes it harder to forgive. So, you know, with my coaching clients, I really suggest just allow yourself to feel that anger. Allow yourself to be in it, because when you feel it, you can let it work through you much easier. So feeling your feelings is as simple as, I feel pissed off, I feel mad, I'm angry, whatever that is. But I do want to encourage you to possibly try not to reach out to the person in those moments of anger. If you're really mad at a situation or someone did something that hurt you, try to limit or just not engage with that person, because sometimes we say things we can't unsay, or we do things out of that anger, and those are harder to take back. So just give yourself almost kind of a mental field trip away from the situation to just feel your feelings, process, just get mad at them in your head, and then once you feel those, you can really move into the step number 2. And this step number 2 is all about recognizing that what goes around comes around. Yes, this is so important. So a lot of times when people do things, they know not what they do. And if you are in a situation that you're feeling very hurt by, or you're really sad about the outcome, a lot of the times recognize that other person who hurt you has no idea. And sometimes that can make it worse or, better for us, but recognize that there is such thing as the bigger picture, and what they do to you might not be the end. They may be doing this to other people because they know not what they do. And so forgiveness becomes recognizing that everyone is on their own journey and their own path. And so for me recently, I had a situation where I really had to put this into play. I had to put myself in the other person's shoes and recognize that not everyone has the same intentions as me. I have a friend who I thought was someone different, and I really allowed myself to just be super open and giving, and it turned out to be a really bad outcome afterwards, and I felt taken advantage of, I felt used, and I felt like just this person had no regard for me and just disrespected me. And so I had to put these into play. I had to really get angry and then quickly move through the anger and realize, you know what goes around comes around, and what is happening here has nothing to do with me. It is this person and their journey. However, I attracted it to me, so I looked at what is the lesson for me. And that moves us into step number 3. But before I get to step number 3, ask yourself if you can really allow the situation to be that they may have not meant to hurt you. They may have not meant to attack you or make you feel the way you do. You're giving them permission to do that by holding on to the situation. So release it, and then you will be free from that. Recognize that there's karma and they have what's coming to them. All you can do is hold love and light for yourself and know that you're out of the situation by removing yourself from it. And so the third step and the final step I'll share with you today on how you can really practice forgiveness is to look at the give in forgiving. Did you ever realize that the word forgiving has the word give in it? And so what's really funny about this is that it works on 2 levels. A lot of the time we feel really angry with someone, or we have a hard time and we want to forgive them, or we can't forgive them because we feel like we overgave. Maybe you overgave your time, your money, your energy, even your resources, and you felt like you didn't get the same thing in return, and so we're feeling like there's an imbalance. And a lot of the times with forgiveness, it's because you feel wronged, or you feel like you gave something and someone didn't return the favor or didn't actually do what the promise was, or whatever the situation is. So look at your own expectations and look at if you overgave, and then just forgive yourself. Say, you know what, everything's in right order. I did the best I could with what I knew, and now I know what I can do in the future. And then the second part of that is the giving of the other person. So this is the most advanced technique, and I know you're all ready for it. It's about the gift that they truly gave you. In every situation that we have in our life, we have an opportunity to learn and grow. We have an opportunity to resist or accept. And if something happens, perhaps that really affects you and hurts you, you can close off, or you can choose to love more openly in the future. You can choose. And this choice is the most beautiful gift of all. So if you are struggling with forgiveness, ask, what is the lesson here for me, and what gift did this crazy situation give me? And so from my own experience, there's so many lessons I learned, and I'm so thankful that I learned earlier than later on in the friendship what type of person this was. Because I'm a very caring, open person, I tend to trust people sooner than, really possibly they can show me who they really are. And so this situation allowed me to really recognize that I only want quality people in my life who care and genuinely want compassionate things for everyone else, and people who are great communicators. This is also important to me. And so with each situation, we learn what doesn't work so we can get clearer, more clear about what we want and what does work. So practice these steps with forgiveness, and recognize that forgiveness will come when you're truly willing to let go of that anger. It's not about them at all. It's about you owning your own power and really embracing the lessons in it. Have fun with that, guys, and I hope you have a beautiful week, and thanks for playing with the world.